this course also, this is very important, and in your real life also it is very important now. And in challenges also we have learned that uh, working with teams, working in group is very, very important, very, very crucial today. You could not work in isolation. So the thought that in isolation I could complete everything has gone back, right? So in this unit, we will be covering very important topics, and we will be trying to understand that what is group versus team, how different types of groups are formed, what are the different stages of group development, why people join group, what is group cohesiveness, what is group think, and how it is different from risky shift or group shift, right? So like students were asking me, ma'am, topics from this unit, topics from that unit. So like from this unit, these are the topics. So in every slide, I am covering the topics that are broadly covered in the unit. So knowing about these topics will be sufficient for you. So groups are formed to achieve certain purpose, right? Groups are defined as an interaction and interdependence of two or more individuals who have come together to achieve some purpose. So the reason of group is to share information, remain connected, interdependent on each other. For example, if a teacher is coming late to the class, some students who are sitting together, they will start talking, start sharing information. Later, those students decided, okay, yes, we will study, we will do a group study. So this forms a group. And what is the purpose of that group is to study together, to share the knowledge, right? Same thing happens in the organization also. So there are two types of group. One is formal group. Second is informal group. Formal group consists of two subgroups. One is functional group. Second is task group. So formal groups are formed by the organization to fulfill some specific organizational goals. For example, a group is formed by the manager to suggest ways to improve quality of internal processes. Committees are formed. They are formal groups. Formal groups could be of two categories. One is functional and command group, like accountancy, sales department. They are one group. Group of people who are working on sales. So this is a functional group. Task group is something more like a committee. So, temporary basis, you form certain groups. Formally, you form certain groups. They are working on certain issues or purpose. This is a task. Then we have informal group. These groups are formed naturally without any formal intervention of the managers. They could be of two types. One is friendship group, which tends to last for longer. They are permanent in nature. Second is interest group, where the people come together for some concern. Like labor ने group बना लिया. Now they are having a discussion with the management. So this is an interest group. Every labor member is interested in solving some problems, right? Similarly, if you have something related to SLM, something related to your classes, you formed a group and you visited me. So this is an interest group. So normally interest group won't last if the underlying interest of the member of forming this group is going to change. Why people join the group? Now you have to imagine a situation when you are working individually, when you are working in a group. People join group for security. So for example, if in an organization you want to say that, okay, this is my right, or I want to do this or that, you prefer to be in a group. Why? Because it gives security to you. It makes you feel the fear of being alone, fear of being getting fired is going to reduce when you are part of a group. Similarly, certain goals cannot be achieved alone. So people needs to be work in group for purpose and goal achievement. Group gets power. So individually, if you are coming to me with a query, and in a group you are coming with to me with a query, so you will have more power, right? You will be able to influence in a better manner. Then social needs are there, as we have studied in motivation lesson also, that everyone wants to be part of a friendship group, right? Like there are certain social needs. So when we are, make you sit in an isolated room and I ask you to do work 365 days, you will get bored. So we all are social animals and we do have certain social needs. Obviously economic self interest, so labor unions forms होती हैं, जो भी होती है economic interest के लिए form होती है. And last is physical proximity. So some groups are simply formed because they are close to each other. So if a teacher is coming late to class for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, students sitting within the limited distance, they will come together, they will form a group and they will start chit chat. So group will be formed. How group is developed? So Bruce Tuckman proposed a model of group development. Initially, the model was having 4 stages. Later, a 5th stage was added to the model. Now, when you are reading these stages of group development, you have to imagine a scenario where you yourself became a part of a group. For example, you started with some school project. So in school project, a teacher assigned that roll number 20, 30, 40, 50 will be in one group, right? So how you started forming a group? The first stage is the forming stage. What happens first? First, we try to understand each other, right? We try to interact with each other. We try to introduce ourselves. We try to take their introduction. So this is the forming stage. This is the first stage. So here the idea remains to understand each other and form some ground rules. Once you have introduced each other, what will happen? Each one is initially going to try to influence others. Everyone will try to become a leader. So this is a stage when the power struggle will be maximum. People will try to lead, tension will be high, conflict will be high. So through open discussion, group goals could be clarified. So this is the storming stage. Storming stage is the power struggle stage. So once you have introduced each other, everyone is trying to become a leader. So this is the storming stage. After that, eventually people start accepting each other. This is the norming stage. Why? Because group members form certain norms will emerge and on which the group will be working, right? And once those norms are clear, then the performing stage comes when the group actually starts allocating the task and working on the task. And finally, when the purpose is over, group project is done, people will start leaving. This is adjoining stage, which was added later on. So this is a stage when people start separating. Some people remain in the friendship, they talk to each other for a long time, others stop meeting the group members. In short, at the forming stage, performance is low, lack of clarity is there, conflict is zero because people avoid conflict. They simply focus on collecting more information. At storming stage, differences, frustration, power struggle, conflict is very high, performance is low. People focus on resolving the group conflicts. At norming stage, sense of belongingness emerges and people start trusting each other. And this is the stage where the procedure, policies, and how the group will be working is decided. Finally, at a performing stage, the performance is very high where people start allocating the tasks. And last is the upset and depressed stage of adjourning where disengagement from relationship is seen. Group cohesiveness. Group cohesiveness means that members of highly cohesive group are highly motivated to be together. So what is cohesiveness? It is the extent to which individual members of the group are motivated to remain in the group. So in certain groups, if it would have been a physical class and a complete class, I would have been dividing you in the groups and I would have been doing the class activity. So you would have seen that in certain groups, students were willing to remain together. And in certain groups, we would have seen that people would be like, why I'm in this group? Why not in that group? So that group cohesiveness is the extent to which individual members are motivated to be the part of the group. What causes group cohesiveness? Number one is group maturity. So if groups are of permanent nature, they simply develop closeness over time. And there is a level of maturity is there. Homogeneity, if they are coming from the same background. If you visit to a class and you come to know that so some of your friends are from the same school, you will be able to develop the cohesiveness, right? When the group size is very large, people are not able to connect. So small size groups are more connected. Frequently, if you're coming with there for the interaction, again, cohesiveness will be very high. When the purpose and goal is very clear, cohesiveness will be high, distractions will be less. When the external threat is very high, group cohesiveness remains very high. Means if people are like management could, you know, give disadvantage, so labor unit will remain very connected. And lastly, if previous project, if group success was very high, group members are going to develop the cohesiveness. They will tend to remain together. What is the consequences of group cohesiveness? If group cohesiveness is very high, is it good or bad? It could be good, it could also be bad, right? So existence of group in true sense, that means obviously if people are together, they will be able to connect better, they will be able to do work better. But one consequences is also the problem of group think and group shift that I will be discussing in further slides. High cohesive groups also exhibit participation and loyalty, high satisfaction, and if group is strongly connected, they are in better position to influence others. So this is the pro side of it. But two consequences that we will be discussing, which is a limitation of group cohesiveness. One is group think problem and group shift problem. Now, groupthink is, I'm not getting into detail of an activity. I'm simply explaining you what is groupthink. Groupthink is a problem where members feel pressure to confirm the opinion of others. In simple language, if some decision is taken in the group, there are people who disagree with the decision, but dominating members are so strong that they are saying, okay, this should be the decision, and the others feel pressure to confirm it. So this problem is of groupthink. So if cohesiveness is very high, then people find it difficult to say no to the decisions taken by the group. So they feel pressure to confirm whatever the group is deciding. So what causes groupthink? If leadership is very strong, if group cohesiveness is very strong, lack of diversity is there, time is limited, and there is a stressful decision making. So people are not open to give their opinions. They don't feel open to tell what they feel like about the decision. They simply agrees to whatever the group is deciding. Under the pressure, they confirm the things. How to minimize it? By adding the diversity, by checking the group size, monitoring it. Group leaders could be given training so that they are not biased. Group at work should be trained to promote healthy discussion, and departmental groups are promoted. Then we have a problem of risk shift and group shift. So it has been observed that when people are taking decisions in group, they tend to pick risky projects compared to individual. Why? Because they feel that for this decision, complete group is responsible, right? In short, this is very important topic. Groupthink basically is a phenomena where people feel pressure to confirm the decisions made by other group members. Whereas group shift is a phenomena where there is a psychological change in the position of the group member. They tend to take more risky and pick extreme position. So in group think, the decision is against the belief and opinion of individual member, whereas in case of group shift, there is a change in position. So individual risk-taking aptitude changes. They tend to pick risky projects. So how we could eliminate groupthink and group shift? By brainstorming, nominal group thinking technique, and Delphi technique. I will be discussing all these techniques in this detail in the decision making lesson. So I'm not repeating the same thing. Before I move ahead, I'm just giving you access to mic. If you have any query, you could ask. We have time constraints, so please try to ask if you have genuine problems, right? Yes. Any question in this? Anyone has any question? Should we move ahead?
Ma'am,
No
Yes or
doubt,
no?
ma'am. We can go forward.
Okay.
ma'am,
As I was mentioning, this is an important topic of groupthink and group shift and little confusing also. So please go through it clearly कि group cohesiveness अगर बहुत high होती है, people are too much connected, then that also end up people feeling under pressure and taking the risky position, right? Both the problems. Now, how team is different from group? So, a team is a small group of people with complementary skills who are committed to common purpose. Whereas in a group, people are interdependent, who are more individuals are interdependent, and they come together to achieve a purpose. So, commitment in team is very high compared to group. Interdependency is very high compared to a group. Accountability remains mutual. Everyone is accountable, right? So, either accountability in group spreads or individual remain accountable for their work. So if you're doing a group study, you are accountable for your result, right? Group is not accountable. Team size is limited. Group could be small, medium, and large. Selection of team is very crucial, but group members selection is immaterial. Skills are complementary. And like for example, if you're building a cricket team, so if someone is bowler, someone is good batsman. But when you are building a group, it could be random and varied. So goals of a team is team performs collectively and group tends to only share the information. Then we have uh, problem solving teams. We could have self-managed work teams. We could have cross-functional team. We could also have virtual teams. Another process in this is social loafing. Social loafing is the tendency of an individual to put less efforts when they are part of group compared to individual capacity. A simple example of this is that in a classroom, when a teacher gives you group project and then teacher gives you an individual assignment. So everyone is going to focus on individual assignment for which they are individually accountable. And the group assignment will be left on the group. So everyone will think that group will be able to do it. So their efforts in the group project is going to reduce. Next, we have unit number 7, which is related to decision making. So decision making process, there are two types of decision. One is program decision, which is a simple routine decision, which a manager needs to take in day-to-day operations of the particular organization. Then there are some complex decisions, creative decisions, which are non-programmed. Decision making process, I'm just briefing you. Think about any decision you have taken. Maybe you have picked up this MBA program, or maybe you are picking up some kind of car or new house. Then first thing you do is you define the problem, you define the goal and objective. And then you generate ideas, you gather information, you do research, you generate alternatives. So what all alternatives are with you when you're purchasing a car? Then you analyze, look into the pros and cons of each alternative. Then you pick up an alternative which is best according to you. And then you make the final purchase and you review how your purchase was. So this is how a decision is made. So first a problem is recognized, information is gathered, alternatives are explored, best course of action is picked, implement a decision, gather the feedback. So group versus individual decision making. So are group decision making preferred to those made by individual alone? It depends on situation to situation. If there is a time constraint or the group members are not up that much knowledgeable, in that case, individual decision making could be also better. Anyhow, strength of group decision making, group generate more complete information and knowledge. By aggregating the resources of several individuals, group bring more input as well as heterogeneity to decision making. So they offer increased diversity of views. Group leads to increased acceptance of a solution. Weakness and problem in the group decision making is it's time consuming. It has a problem of group think. Group decisions can dominate few members and group decisions suffer from ambiguous responsibility. So अगर आप में किस अपने ग्रुप में डिसीजन लिया तो I could not say that this person is responsible. Everyone tends to be remain responsible. Group decision making versus individual decision making. So group decisions are generally more accurate than the decisions of average individual. but they are less accurate than the judgment of the most accurate person. Very rightly said statement that if someone is very knowledgeable, accurate, then everyone's opinion doesn't matter. But if everyone is at the same page, then the group decision brings more options and better decision on the table. In terms of speed, individuals' decision making is superior. And if creativity is important, then the group decision making is more effective. Now we will be doing the models of decision making. These are the individual models of decision making, that is rational, bounded rationality, garbage can model, and intuition. I explained you this model in the perception chapter towards the end also. So rationality is a logical step-by-step approach through which an individual makes a decision. So these are the individual decision-making models. So the outcome is completely rational. The decision maker uses consistent system of references and choose the best alternative. He is aware about all the alternatives and he is having a knowledge to calculate the possible success of each alternative. This is an assumption in this particular model. Then we have more, bounded rationality given by Herbert Simon, who says that in reality this is not possible. Rational decision making is not something that is near reality, because in reality manager has different constraint. Time is constraint, knowledge is constraint. So there are different constraints under which the manager is working. So manager makes a decision and he explores the alternatives based on the information that is available, right? Next is garbage can model. This is a theory that contends that decisions in organization are random and unsystematic. So garbage can model works in the way that what all is available in the environment, it is put like in the garbage and the decisions are made in a very random and unsystematic manner. Next model is intuition. Perhaps the least rational way of making a decision is intuition decision making. It's an unconscious process created from experiences. It is a form of subconscious logic that is sharpened by the experiences and often works best with conscious reasoning. So while intuition is not a very rational way, it is not inherently bad and necessarily wrong, nor does it always contradict rational analysis. So, garbage can model versus intuition decision making model. Garbage can model, this model explains that decision making in organization with high uncertainty and ambiguity. So when there is high uncertainty and vagueness in the environment, decision emerged as a result of four elements: problem, solution, participation, and choice opportunity. So randomly they interact and tossed in the garbage can. It is suitable for chaotic environment where problems are not clearly defined, solution exists without clear problems, and decision makers act opportunity when they arise. So if we talk about a startup and some unused software solution, it may suddenly be adopted to solve the unrelated urgent issue due to the constraint of time and participant involvement. Whereas intuition is modeled is based on gut feeling and instinct. So a doctor quickly diagnoses a rare disease based on certain symptoms without consciously analyzing each detail. Why? Because the doctor is that much experienced. His instincts and gut feeling is saying that, okay, this is a diagnosis. So manager takes 6 steps in making an effective decision using rational decision making process. First, he analyzes the situation. So here he talks about what are the key elements of the situation, what constraints are going to affect the decision, what resources are available. Then he or she set the objectives. Here he or she is going to look for, is the problem stated clearly? Do people understand what they are working on? And what criteria will decision making be judged? When searching the alternatives, do people involved in the problem make the decision? Do those in with information make the decision? Do they use diversity to generate ideas? Are all ideas encouraged? So all these are the things, questions a manager needs to ask when they are moving and using rational decision making process. While evaluating the alternatives, do participants know what they are evaluating? Are difference of opinion included in evaluation? When they are making decision, do action plan fits the decision? Are they committed to the decision? Are they aware if they are satisfying? And do employees know what they are making the decision about? And last is evaluating the decision. Is there an evaluation schedule? Is there a comprehensive evaluation plan? Are responsibilities for data collected, analysis reported clearly? So all these are the steps in making effective decisions using rational decision making model. So managers can ask these questions when evaluating objectives. So जब भी वो objectives को evaluate कर रहे हैं, they need to look into it whether the objectives are relevant, practically possible, are they are able to challenge to managers at all level, could it be quantifiable, are they schedulability and balance. From the balance angle also they need to look into. There is no need to focus much on it. It is just a side information given to you so that you could write more about how managers are making decision. That's it. So I'm not getting into detail. So if objectives are help organizations to grow, are they cost effective? Are manager access the performance of those responsible for attaining? Are the objectives flexible enough? Are the given the organization environment, is this the proper time to adopt these objective or not? So these are the certain questions which a manager could ask when they are evaluating the objectives. Next is group decision making. So this is part of group decision making. Before I move ahead, I'm giving you access of mic so that you could ask your doubts. Yes. Any question?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what is the meaning of adjoining stage?
Meaning of
Adjoining stage.
adjoining stage basically is a stage when people get separate. So आप एक group का part बने, अब group separate हो रहा है. That means your purpose is done. You work together to make a group project. Project बन गया. So adjoining stage defines when the separation is there. People will move to their places and the group will be separate. Group फिर दोबारा नहीं मिल रहा होगा. That is the stage.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. So I'm just picking up the main points. The main points is in this topic is you should be knowing all these models. Individual decision making model, that is rational, bounded rationality, garbage can, and intuition. Any problem in understanding either of the model?
So far, no problem.
Okay. So the next thing is the group decision making model. So you should be knowing how decision making is done when you are working in a group. So there are three techniques. One is brainstorming, nominal group technique, and Delphi method. They are very important. They are also part of group decision making. At that point of time, I told you that I will be discussing in next unit. So in brainstorming, what happens? A topic is written on the board, right? So we are making a decision on something, maybe when we should schedule the revision class. So I will write down the topic on the board when the revision class should be scheduled, time slot, right? Then everyone who is part of the group get their chance to share their ideas. And each idea is recorded on the board without any criticism. So no one is going to comment and criticize. If someone is saying Sunday को 6 a.m. early morning हमें रखनी चाहिए revision class, we are not going to criticize. No comments. Whichever idea is coming, we are going to record it. Everyone will be getting one chance to tell their idea. And once one cycle is done, then the second cycle will start. So this is going to happen till all the ideas are exhausted. So if I am not having any idea, I could pass. So like this, everyone's idea is taken. All the ideas are evaluated and the best idea is picked. So first is you list all the ideas. Do not evaluate any idea during the initial stage. Encourage creativity. Offer ideas related to those who are already listed. Ask each participant to offer specific number of new ideas. So I could tell the class everyone give 2 to 3 ideas, right? And also, as a manager is supposed to fix the time of brainstorming. It is not like that complete day we will go with this process. Half an hour, 1 hour, a time is set that till this time we will be exploring the ideas. So this is brainstorming. Next is affinity diagram. So affinity diagram is a group decision making technique designed to sort a large number of ideas and concepts and opinions into naturally related groups. So these groups are connected with a simple concept. So what happens here is that ideas are described with phrases and sentences. So problem is written on the board and ideas will be described with phrases and sentences, right? So minimize the discussion while sorting. So we sort out those ideas. Let me just show it to you. One second, like this. Could you see? So basically there is a problem and everyone is giving the idea. All those ideas are written on sticky notes. And then all the sticky notes have been grouped into the proper header. So for example, lack of regular team meeting, ineffective email communication, limited use of collaborative tool. All this is part related to communication problem, right? Second is limited team building activity, diversity, uneven participation. Everything is related to team building. So all the ideas have been clubbed into bigger header. And this visual representation is done on the board. So now I'm just reading it so that you could relate with it. So clarify the list of ideas, recorded them in the small cards or sticky notes. So in sticky notes, we have recorded the ideas. Randomly, we are laying down all the ideas on the table, flip chart or wall, wherever it is possible. And all the similar types of idea under the similar groups are segregated into one category. It could be based on the gut reaction or intuition. If you don't like the placement of a particular card, then you could move it. So you continue this process till there is a consensus. Then a header card is created that consists of 3 to 5 phrase description. What is a header card? Communication, team building, and workflow is a header card. So this header card is also placed. And in the group we are discussing, we are trying to understand that how groups relate to each other. So brainstorming is a creative process that generates the ideas, while affinity diagram is a visual tool that organizes those ideas into groups. Right? I hope affinity diagram is clear. Next group decision making technique is nominal group technique. So this is technique is more formalized as compared to brainstorming technique. So as a genre, name is face-to-face group technique in which instructions are given to group members not to interact with each other except at specific steps in the process. So like this, a round table is made. Everyone is sitting in the round table. They are having a piece of paper. Problem is written on the board. Silently they write it down, everything, whatever idea is there in their mind. So silent idea generation is going on. Everyone is doing in the table, right? Then everyone is explaining their idea. They are taking feedback from the group and then they are explaining why they feel this should be the solution, right? So individual person is presenting their ideas and then based on the voting, final idea is picked. Last, we have Delphi technique, which is meant for problems which are complex in nature and you need experts. So a problem is stated, and for the Delphi technique, we also have a coordinator who is coordinating the complete process. And what happens? A problem is stated, maybe person sitting in different location, like in unlike nominal technique, there is no need that everyone should be on the same table. They could be in the different location, but they should be experts. So all the experts are given the questionnaire and anonymously, independently, they are writing down the solution. These solutions and results are compiled and then common thing, uncommon thing, like this, they are compiled and distributed copies of result to next round. So the new round begins and this requires this process continues till the time there is consensus among the group members, right? Physical presence is not required, but this is very, very time consuming. Any question till here? Yes?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So you should be knowing all the group decision making techniques. You should be knowing all the individual decision making technique. Any question till in group decision making technique? I'm going a little fast, so you could ask if there is any question. So I could particularly explain that point in detail.
All clear, ma'am.
Ma'am,
No, ma'am. Okay. Next unit is stress. So basically, stress. We all feel that we are under stress. Then what is this stress? It is a reaction to some potential threatening aspect in the environment. So these reactions are both felt physically and emotionally. So if I say stress, stress is basically a disbalance or a lack of balance between the inputs and the job rewards and job demands, right? So if an employee frequently finds himself or herself in state of stress, we call it acute stress. And if this acute stress frequently comes, we call it episodic stress. And if finally employees remain under stress for a long time, we call it chronic stress. Frustration and anxiety are also types of stress only. At work, stress remains pervasive. So when you say stress हट जाए job से ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. All the employees experience stress, and to some extent, stress is not bad. To some extent, stress is required because unless people will be under stress, they won't work, right? So different individuals react to stress differently, and stress is not always bad. So gas is general adaptation syndrome. It explains patterns in which the human body physically reacts to stressful event. So there are three stages. The first stage is when your body starts giving the initial sign, right? Some hormones are released and you could see the heartbeat, respiration increases, digestion process goes down, muscles are going to tense up. So this is the first stage when your body start reacting to stress. After this initial shock, the body moves to stage 2, where it attempts to recover and return to equilibrium. So this is the stage of resistance. And either after stage 2, the stress related systems are going to disappear क्योंकि आपकी body recover करने की कोशिश कर रही है, or the symptoms are going to increase and your body is going to move to stage 3, where it starts showing more stress related problems like headache, ulcer, high body blood pressure. And if an employee reaches to stress stage 3, then the situation becomes very threatening to both employee and employer and organization also. So what causes the stress? First, and we are talking everything from the organization perspective. Some are the organization sources. First is nature of job. So there are certain jobs which are very, very stressful. For example, if surgeon is there, right? His one decision could take someone's life. His one action could take someone's life. So it's a stressful job. Or in a stock market, someone is, investing. Stock broker is there. One decision could, take millions out of him. So such jobs are very, very stressful. Whereas there are certain jobs like a receptionist job, other jobs which are routine level. They're not very stressful. So nature of jobs makes the job stressful. Second is change from the routine pattern. So if there is an individual who prefers stable sleep and he is, or she is given some night shift job, he will find the job very stressful. Second is the physical design of the job organization. So some poor design or structure of the organization where there is lack of privacy or lack of structure that might restrict social interaction, this could lead to stress. Similarly, if there is a lighting issue, there is lack of facility, cafeterias, it all could lead to the stressful situation. Give me 1 minute. Just let me have water. 1 minute. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am,
Yes.
it is.
Okay. Then there are certain role demands. The role is defined as a set of expectation or expected behavior. So there are two subcategories. If I have been given a role in an organization, right, and there is a role ambiguity. I'm explaining the ambiguity first. Ambiguity basically means I myself don't know what I have to do. I'm not clear what exactly is needed. There is ambiguity. Deadlines clear nahi hai, deliverables clear nahi hai, poor orientation hai. Then this is going to give me stress. Or there is a role conflict. That means at the same point of time, two types of roles are given to me. So they both are conflicting. At the same point of time, I need to be in two places, right? So this is a role conflict. Similarly, role overload. Too much of work is given. On one single day, I've been asked to process 200 applications. So this is going to give the stress. And research suggests that even underutilization gives stress. That means an individual don't have a job. Job means task to do. So underutilization is also sometimes very stressful for people. Other stress could be poor leadership, pressure from formal, informal groups, conflicting interpersonal relationship, job instability. All this could add become the cause of stress at work. Then there are certain individual sources. Individual sources is like personal control. So if employee is given a responsibility to complete a project within 5 days, right, and discuss the same with the client, and let us assume that client is not there, client is on leave for 5 days. So person is not able to control the scenario. जो उसको deadline मिली है उस deadline में वो client या supplier है ही नहीं. So this is going to add stress in their mind. Similarly, if an employee is unable to participate in the decisions that are related to his or her role, then also they will experience the stress. So the absence of employee participation and lack of control over tasks could lead to stress. Second is personality type. Like I have taken in morning, that type A people personalities are comparatively more prone to stress. Why? Because in their case, time urgency is very high. They are too much organized. They are like, we have to achieve this. Whereas type B people, personality people are calm. They are less stressful. Second is expectation. If you expect too much from yourself, your stress level is going to go up. Then turbulent in life, that means confusion and disorder in the life. If personal life is struggling, then also you will feel the stress in your professional life. If individual goals are different from organizational goals, goal conflict is there, then again stress will be high. And last is health issue. If people are not facing some kind of health and mental issue or health issues, then also they will feel stress at work. Other than this, organization or personal, there are various external factors that lead to stress, like economic condition, pandemic is there, lockdown is there, job markets are going down, job insecurity is there. So all these external factors lead to stress. If technology is coming, AI is coming, maybe my job is not impacted, but it is in my mind, na, someday it could take my job. So all these things are impacting my stress. And last is political instability. In countries like Afghanistan, Syria, where there are political issues, a lot of issues, people working in those countries will feel stress. So, do you know that stress is additive in nature? That means it is not that one thing is going to happen that is giving me the stress, but too many things happen and all those things add and they create a synergy effect leading to high level of stress. So what is the consequences of stress? First is physiological consequences that could be seen in your body, like enhanced breathing rate, high blood pressure, headaches, heart related issues like heart attack, heart disease, weakened immune system, burnout, high rate of leave due to sickness, your stomach issues like irritable bowel syndrome, ulcer, acid reflux, and others. Second is psychological change. Procrastination. You delay every task. You feel too much of anxiety and tension. You don't want to do or perform any task, lack of engagement. Every time you get bored out of the activities that you are doing. And overall, your mental well being is triggered. Then there are certain behavioral changes, like you take too many leaves from the job, you reduce your productivity, you change, there are changes in individual lifestyle, right? So people start smoking, they start consuming alcohol, and their sleep pattern disturbs. All these are the consequences of stress. What can I do to manage my stress at individual level? Number one is very important is social network. So a well-developed social circle of colleagues, friends, and family help you in reducing your stress. Second is going ahead with the mind relaxing techniques like meditation, deep breathing, and all this. Exercise and dancing. So if you're a dance person, you could dance. If you like singing, you could listen to music. If you do regular exercise, that is will help you in managing your stress. And last, very important is time management. So this is the time management metrics. In our life, there are certain things which are important and certain things which are not important. Again, there are certain things which are urgent, certain things which are not urgent. So not important, not urgent quadrant is this one. Okay. So this is like looking at your Facebook, Instagram, scrolling junk emails, scrolling the Facebook. This is all waste activities. Neither important, not urgent. Then you have urgent and important. So hard pressing deadlines are there. Some problems are there. Meetings are there that are very important and urgent. Then you have set of activities which are very important but not very urgent, like building your career, right? Planning, relationship building, networking. All these activities are very important but not very urgent. Then we have activities which are not important but urgent, like attending meetings, attending certain mails, and some hard pressing matters, or attending your important goals. So, if you want to manage your time, then your list in first quadrant should be minimum. One or two items should be there. And you should be spending maximum time in second quadrant. That means this quadrant. Then you are in a better position to manage your time. If your list in first quadrant is very long and you are spending too much time there, that means there is a crisis situation, right? So you should be working on things that are important but not urgent, right? And you should obviously reduce the fourth quadrant, doesn't make sense. At organizational level, what are the stress management strategies which could be opted? First is selecting and placing in employees. So as I mentioned that there are certain people who could take the stress. There are some people who could not take the stress. So selection in such jobs should be based on experience of employee, people who could deal with the level of stress. अगर आपने stressful job में एक ऐसा person रख दिया जो stress ले ही नहीं सकता, it will be a mess. Then clear goals should be communicated with the employee so that there is no role ambiguity and role conflicts. So that could be reduced. Employees should be encouraged to participate and involve in the decision making so that they are able to relate with what is happening and they have more control over the situation. Modify the existing structure and design a job in a manner that people get privacy and autonomy. Some initiatives could be taken by the organization to keep employees manage employee stress, like giving them sabbatical leave or thinking about well-being subsidy and other well-being programs. Now, what are emotions? So if it would have been normal, then I would have done the complete unit with lot many activities, but we don't have that kind of time. So emotions are the feelings, they are the complex pattern that are of feelings that are associated with the object. It could be positive, it could be negative. For example, if I think about a complete day that I had today, I would have certain emotion. There were points when I was happy, sad, angry, you know, affectionate. These are different emotions, right? So now, once you note all the emotions that you're feeling and you check, you will be able to see that positive emotions and negative emotions are two categories of emotions, right? And you will be seeing that positive emotion is going to enhance your creativity, it will give you more confidence, it is going to bring more, you will be more open to experience new things, you will be more resilient, you will be able to cope up with the stress in better manner, and you will feel like doing work. But if the negative emotions are more in your uh, in a week last week, then you will feel more depressed, you will try to escape, your thinking will be narrowed down, and you will find it difficult to cope up with stressful events also. Next concept is emotional intelligence. So, like we have studied that emotions are the complex pattern of feeling towards an object or person. Emotional intelligence refers to a skill where an individual is able to understand his or her feeling and also able to understand the feeling of others. So, this term was initially given by Peter and John, and later it was popularized by Daniel Goleman. It refers to individual tendency of he or she is able to manage and understand his emotion and the emotions of others. So there are like four quadrants which talk about personal competency and social competency. Self-awareness basically means that emotional self-awareness. You know your feeling, you know your moods, you know your emotions and everything. That means you are aware. And you also understand, right? The self-awareness helps you in making right decision in the situation that involves pressure and uncertainty. Self-management is about managing your your emotions during setbacks and stressful event. Social awareness basically means not only yours, but you are also able to understand the emotions of others. And the core of social awareness is empathy. That means you know how others are feeling and you are able to show the empathy. And last is relationship management. That is, it is an ability to manage the conflict, uh, mentor and coach others. It helps in improving teamwork spirit and influencing others. Give me 1 minute. Till here, do you have any doubt? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Just give me. I actually planned a meeting, but I wouldn't be able to take it up. So give me one. Message. Mm, okay. So this is relationship management. Now, well-being at work is defined in the ways in which is defined in various ways and can be of various type,
Ma'am,
like situational well-being. Yes.
am your routine is not visible?
My screen is not visible.
No, ma'am.
So well-being could
Yeah,
be
now
of
it's
various type, like spiritual well-being, social well-being, and various types of personal well-being. But here in this class, we will be only focusing on Seligman's PERMA model of well-being theory based on self-actualization, which is motivated by the definition given by Abraham Maslow when we were discussing the motivation theory. So when I talk about well-being and happiness, one thing is P. P stands for positive emotions. So positive emotions is going to improve your well-being. So it triggers how people think. So how could you develop more positive emotion? By listening music, by spending people you like, by following your hobbies, by thinking about good successful time. Then is engagement. Engagement is flow. That means you live in the moment, right? Happiness is the byproduct of engagement. To keep yourself engaged, you could focus on activities that you love, and this is going to give you strength. R stand for in PERMA, positive relationship. So it refers to the value that one receives when they interact with family, friends, and community colleagues. So relationships says that humans are social creature. So social environment prevents cognitive decline. Fourth is meaning, which is very important and it differs from person to person. So it defines what is the purpose of my life, why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the purpose could be career, it could be a religious belief, it could be social cause. So whatever it is, you pursue that. Last is accomplishment. It is a sense of achievement. That means if you achieve something, you feel happy. Last unit I'm discussing, I will keep it brief. It is related to structure and design. So organization structure is the formal system of task allocation, coordination, supervision within the organization, right? So key components of the structure is hierarchy, division of labor, span of control, coordination, and formalization. Now, why organization structure is important? It gives you clarity of roles and responsibility. It facilitates effective communication and decision making. It promotes efficiency and productivity. It aligns resources and efforts with organization goals. It adapts to the size and complexity of organization. So there are two things that are there in the unit: organization structure and organization design, right? So I'm not getting into the scenario. I will straight away move to the difference between the two. Structure, the company's functional structure represents its existing framework. And design is the process of transitioning to a divisional structure to better serve international market involving planning, analysis, and implementation. Right? Structure is the end result. And the design is the process of deciding what that structure should be and how to implement it. Right? The structure is a stable thing. It is an end result. This is how organization work. And design is a strategic process through which you decide that what structure you want to implement in your organization. The effect of structure on individual and group. So it is going to behavior of how people act and work, their motivation, their performance, their teamwork, interdepartment relation. All these are impacted because of the structure that is followed in your organization, right? There are two, three terminologies I'm explaining in brief. One is span of control. अच्छा सिंपल लैंग्वेज में व्हाट इज स्ट्रक्चर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने रिपोर्टिंग रिलेशनशिप बनाया हुआ है हु इज रिपोर्टिंग हु दैट डिफाइंस द स्ट्रक्चर राइट span of control means number of people that a manager could effectively and efficiently direct. Then we have centralized and decentralized. That means where is the authority, decision making authority? Is it a centralized authority who is making decision for complete organization, or at all levels delegation is done and there is a decentralization? And last is formalization. As I was previously telling you, it is a degree with which rules and regulation is defined. So in some organization, formalization is very high. High rules and regulations are there. While in others, there is a flexibility, right? So I'm not repeating this. I hope this will be clear. I will give you this slide. So moving to the main part, that challenges also I'm just covering in brief, that in today's dynamic environment, because of globalization, technology, remote work, virtual teams, there is the need to come up with the new types of structure, right? So the same thing is there, so I'm not repeating. Uh, Departmentalization by type. Departmentalization is a process where we group jobs and activities into specific departments to improve efficiency and coordination. It is a key component of organizational structure, but not a structure itself. So there are different types of departmentalization: functional, product, geographical, process, and customer. So functional departmentalization means it focuses on dividing the work. Functional structure defines the organization overall design and reporting relationship based on functional specialization. That means product, marketing, finance and HR department में आपने divide कर दिया. एडवांटेजेस क्या है? स्पेशलाइजेशन होगी हर डिपार्टमेंट की, एफिशिएंसीज फ्रॉम पुटिंग टुगेदर सिमिलर स्पेशलाइज्ड एंड पीपल विद कॉमन स्किल्स, एंड डिसएडवांटेजेस पुअर कम्युनिकेशन अक्रॉस functional areas. So every department is too much into their own department that they are not looking what other department is doing. Second is geographical bifurcation, like based on location, we have bifurcated the organization. Disadvantage is that a lot of duplication will be there for the same work, and good side is that the unique geographical market needs will be served by the particular department. Product based, if bifurcation is done, like beauty department, food department, baby care department, so minus side is again duplication and limited view of organizational goal, and plus side is closer to customer, managers can become experts in their industry. Process wise, if the bifurcation is done, it can be only used in certain kind of organization, and good side is most effective work activities, flow of work activities. Types of structure. We have one line structure which is very simple, oldest of all. Here the simple authority flows directly from top to bottom in a straight line. So straight chain of command, clear roles and responsibility, direct communication, and very simple way of understanding it. Then we have line organizations which are best for small and simple organization where quick decision making is required and environment is stable. Then we have line and staff structure where line organization, line people are doing their main work and staff positions are supporting them. For example, HR department, a separate HR department is made. So example of line and staff is like production manager, supervisor, worker, line is there. And then HR department, legal team, IT team, they are the staff positions. Then suitability of this line and staff structure is it is more suitable in dynamic environment where the organization requires regular updates, compliance with legal, technology, and market changes. So good side is expert support you will get from this part staff specialist, efficiency and flexibility will be there. And disadvantages, obviously HR, legal department, they all will be costly, and over dependence of the line managers on the staff will be there. Then we have functional structure. It is an organizational setup where employees are grouped based on their specialized function, marketing, finance, operation. Good side is specialization, clear chain of command, and operation efficiency. Disadvantages, lack of coordination and conflicts between the department when allocation of budget is there. Division structure is the one where the company is semi-autonomous division they create, right? So, like for example, one product, one complete organization is there. Geographically, they have divided it maybe, and for another product, again they have created a complete new organization. Plus side is that people they are able to encourage innovation, clear accountability and flexibility. The disadvantages, duplication, lack of coordination, higher operational costs, and internal competition. This is very important. That is your metric structure. It is little different. So metric structure basically combine two structures. One is functional and second is project. So it's a hybrid organization design where employees report to two or more managers, typically a functional manager and a product or project manager. So the structure aims to improve flexibility and communication. It is suitable in large organization with complex projects. So एक organization है जिसमें functional groups है like HR, marketing, finance and all. Now a new project has initiated. So they will pick people from different functional groups and they will add those people to that project. So this is going to improve communication, give flexibility, better collaboration. And जो आपकी short projects आ रहे हैं उसके लिए आपको different resources नहीं लानी पड़ेगी. So this is a good side of it. Disadvantages that for employees, it's a power struggle, confusion, conflict, and employees, due to multiple priorities, they find themselves under stress. So now we have a case study. Any question till here? Yes,
No,
please.
ma'am.
So this is a case study because we are getting out of time. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. Just read this case study, then we will be discussing the answer. So I won't be giving you much time. Quickly just have a reading and then so that we could discuss it. So quickly I'm telling you, Mr. Ram Sharma is a project manager working in a mid-sized tech firm, ABC Corporation. 1 minute. The project he is leading is based on the new AI technology that has the potential to revolutionize the future. Mr. Ram is optimistic about the success and is currently heading a diverse team consisting of employees from various backgrounds. So there are some new hirees, some professional experts, some support staff, and some other employees. So new hirees are the people who are very enthusiastic, eager, they want to do the work. They remain active in all the meetings. They are very energetic, spontaneous, punctual. However, they don't know how to complete the task. So their task maturity is low. So here the task maturity includes skills and technical knowledge. They are still adjusting to the culture and trying to understand the process. Then we have a professional experts who know how to do the work. They are very experienced, but they possesses high task and psychological maturity. Then there is a support staff. The support staff plays a vital role in the team. However, most of them are new hirees who lack task maturity. Due to low pay and lack of recognition, they often exhibit unwillingness to do work. Then we have group of other employees who possesses high task maturity. They know their job, but they lack motivation. Long working hours, urgency to work, short deadlines, low career opportunity have made their job stressful and monotonous. So Ram recognizes the need to adapt his leadership style for each group to ensure project success. For support staff, he provides clear instruction and focuses on organization goal while interacting with them. For new hirees, he adopts a coaching style. For professional experts, he trusts their expertise and delegates the task to them. He focuses on sharing external information and allow them to autonomy to manage their responsibility. And for other employees, he frequently appreciates their efforts and boosts their morale to keep them motivated. Despite all his effort, most of the team members are unable to relate with the project. Often they feel disconnected from the goal of the project. Employees need support from the leader who can support them in their personal growth. Senior management has suggested that Mr. Ram to explore alternative leadership approach to address the issue and ensure the team work cohesively. So the question is that you have to explain the leadership style using Hersey and Blanchard's situation leadership theory. Should I tell you the answer side by side now?
Yes, please,
केस
ma'am.
स्टडी इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन. आई होप केस स्टडी इज क्लियर. इस केस स्टडी में आपको 4 कैटेगरीज ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज दी है. न्यू हायरीज जिनके टास्क मेच्योरिटी लो है, दैट मीन्स दे डोंट नो हाउ टू डू वर्क बट दे आर विलिंग. प्रोफेशनल एक्सपर्ट्स वो हैं जिनको काम आता भी है और विलिंग भी है वो लोग. सपोर्ट स्टाफ इज द वन हु इज अनविलिंग टू डू वर्क, राइट. उनका लैक ऑफ टास्क मेच्योरिटी भी नहीं है और उनको आता भी नहीं है. And other employees are the people who know how to do work but they are not motivated. So what you have to do here is, in this question you need to use the concept of situation theory. Let me do the slide. So you need to go through this theory, right? So new hirees are the people who are willing but they are not able to, right? Willing but not able to, that means R2. These are new hirees. Professionals are the people who are able and willing. That means they are R4. Others are the people who are unwilling but they know how to do it. That is R3. And support staff is one who is R1. So support staff ko you need to use the telling style, right? New hirees ko you need to go with selling style. Professionals ko you need to go with delegating style, and the remaining you have to go with participating style. So you have to make this graph and you need to bifurcate all categories of employees under the each quadrant. Answer is clear to everyone,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So this is how you need to proceed with the answer. I think in the previous year paper this question came. So this is how you need to bifurcate it. And the second question says why team members are not happy with Mr. Ram's leadership style. Explain how Mr. Ram could improve his approach using contemporary leadership style. So in case study, mostly this happened that one question is based on the knowledge. For example, in this case study, if you don't know you don't know about situation theory, obviously you won't be able to write this answer, right? But the second question remains little subjective. So when you are explaining why team members are not happy with Mr. Ram, you could have your own explanation telling why people are not happy. So it could be subjective, it could change. But then you have to use any contemporary leadership style, that means transactional, transformational, charismatic, or authentic leadership style to give an additional leadership style to Ram so that he could manage the company. Answer is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am. So we can add our own opinion while answering this question. Is it?
In this question, first part, your own opinion. It could vary from
Okay.
student to student, no issue. But for the second part, you need to pick one contemporary theory. अब contemporary कौन सी pick कर रहे हो, उसे कैसे explain कर रहे हो, it is up to you, right? So there
Okay,
could be
ma'am.
multiple answers for part B, but there is only one single answer for part A. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. So mostly
So
case studies will be like this, like you just have shown this,
yes,
like questions will be asked
yes,
in
yes,
this manner only. Okay, ma'am.
yes. Okay, just so this is just winding up part. I am at a winding up part, just giving you few helping points. This is your syllabus, right? And in your syllabus, if there is some key term, that means definitely you should be knowing it. For example, if I go with unit 6, it is written work team, groups, reasons for joining, types of group cohesiveness, group think, and risky shift. So you should be knowing all these terminologies. Similarly, in leadership style, you should be knowing trait, behavioral, contingency portion, transactional, and transformational. You should be knowing this, right? So all the terminologies, content models and process models, you should be knowing it. So all the broad headers that are there in your syllabus, you should be knowing it. But all the micro level points, few points that we have discussed, give it a reading. It is good if you are able to understand. Otherwise, also just give it a reading. Like in organization structure and design, we have discussed so many things, right? But basic structure, basic design, you should be knowing. Getting into detail is something that you could give it a reading. Is this part clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And the
Can you
last
please?
thing is that focus on the units based on the syllabus percentage content. That means in unit 2, we have 4 to 5, 6 topics. But ultimately, it is 1/9 portion of the syllabus. So give it that kind of weightage. But the topics like leadership, teams, your decision making models, motivation, they are the complete units, right? So allocate the portion of time accordingly. All the best for your time, all the best for your exams. In case you face any problem or query, you could ask me through mails or messages also. Okay, so I'm
Yes, ma'am.
winding up this class.
Thank you so
All
much,
the
ma'am.
best.
Could
Thank
you
you so
please
much, ma'am.
share your email ID, ma'am?
Thank you so
It
much,
is
ma'am.
there.
मैम आपकी ईमेल आईडी बता दो आप
My email ID